like a little bit, just a little worked up there.
Remember his name? Dale. Chippendale.
That's a really good way to find out if your parents hate you or not. He has a picture of her. I don't know who has the big horsey. Hello everyone and happy Friday. So to just dive right into this video, I asked AI to recommend me romance books with swoon-worthy male leads, and it gave me some interesting suggestions. Basically, I went through this list and picked out ones that stuck out to me. I picked 5 out of that list, and I will be reading 5 books today recommended to me by AI, and supposedly they are supposed to have swoon-worthy male leads. We shall see about that. I don't think I have any book crushes anymore. Like when I was younger, sure, but now not so much. I'm very picky when it comes to male leads, and I'm very picky when it comes to romance in general because I cringe very easily. That doesn't necessarily mean that I dislike romance. I am just not a very romantic person, so, but I still like romance, if that makes sense. I don't know. I will most likely be bringing up spoilers for each of these books as well, so beware. I will have timestamps for each of these books in the link description if you'd like to see a certain section of this video. The 5 books that I picked is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. The second book is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I've read a few Christina Lauren books and I've always really enjoyed them. Looking forward to this one, and this one has been one that's been on my TBR for a very long time, so very much looking forward to this one. I don't know if this is technically in the romantasy genre, but it's a fantasy romance, and it's one that I've been very interested in for many years, and that is The Kiss of Deception by I was trying to remember the name, by Mary E. Pearson. The next book is The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. This one I've heard mixed reviews on, and that's why I'm just kind of like a little unsure of, but the premise sounds cute. The 5th and final one is the one I'm most not excited for. We're finally reading a Colleen Hoover book, and we're going to be reading It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. The first book that I'm going to get started on is The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. Let's just get right into the video. Okay. I have my phone now like faced to where I can't see myself. I also should mention that I'm going to be rating the swoon-worthiness of the male leads. So we're going to be rating them 1 out of 5 stars. So let's see who is the most swoon-worthy male lead out of these 5. 30% of the way through this book, The Flatshare. Is my nose red? Kind of. I'm definitely understanding why this book has many differing opinions. I don't dislike this book, but it's written very oddly. I guess I should explain what this book is about. Hold on, let me just take a step back. Our main characters is Tiffy. Tiffy is moving into a flat with our male lead, Leon, because she just 3 months ago, she kind of had a little bit of a breakup with her ex, and she needs a new place to live because she was previously living with him. She has a small income, and so she agrees to this flat share situation to where she's pretty much sharing a bed with Leon, but they both come at different times of the day. So she has a 9-to-5 job, and while she is at her 9-to-5, he is at the flat, and then when he is at his job, she's at the apartment, and so they never run into each other, but they communicate with post-it notes. I don't know if this book is necessarily a romance. At least right now it does not seem like a romance. Leon has I still can't figure out why he is looking for this person. He is looking for someone, I think, related to his and his brother's family. I forget why though, because I don't know if I just didn't hear a section of the book or something, or his Irish accent just kind of made me not hear it correctly, which I don't quite understand because I can understand him just fine, but I'm looking for an explanation to where that's explained more, because I don't want to go all the way back to the beginning of this book to figure out what exactly is going on there, but he's looking for someone, okay? His chapter is very much tell versus show. And when I was first listening to his first few chapters, I was just having really a difficult time concentrating because it's just so odd to hear. It reads like this. Pick up the phone. It's Sherry. She says this and this. So there's a little bit of dialogue from Sherry. It's just his actions are like blink, pause, pick up the phone, look for the notebook, get in bed. It's not like Leon got into bed, tired from work. It's not that. It's Leon in bed, tired from work, falls asleep. It's like that. And so I think his first few chapters, I wasn't 100% paying attention to because I was just extremely confused on why it is formatted in that way with just his chapters. For Tiffy, it's like normal. I don't understand that choice and why the author chose to do that, And I'm pretty sure that's the main thing that people have an issue with this story. And with it being structured the way it is with his chapters, it's very hard to see him as a character. He just seems like a caricature. He doesn't seem real. Obviously they're not real, but you know, it doesn't, you just can't get into his character. I feel more for his brother Richie, who has only been in, I think, 2 chapters now. Saying all that, I don't 100% dislike this book, but I don't love it. It's very much a book that I'm just listening to. I'm interested in seeing what happens with his brother Richie because I care for him. I'm interested in seeing what happens with him. I'm interested in seeing when this is going to be a romance. No actual romance between them right now. It's just kind of a little bit of friendship, which I don't mind. I don't get how the romance is going to be able to take center stage with all these other subplots. Seems like there's a little too much going on for that to happen. Like I said, I am also listening to the audiobook for this, and a critique I have for this audiobook, there's just geese flying everywhere, I'm sorry. The person who voices Leon's chapters, you can hear his mouth sounds. Like his mic was just too close. Like you can just hear, it's just horrible, stupid mouth sounds. I know I just got like a little bit, just a little worked up there, but I hate mouth sounds, and it's just, I'll update you guys later to see how this is going. I finished The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary, and I surprisingly really ended up enjoying this book very much. She has many more books, and I just want to go on a Beth O'Leary book binge reading. I'm going to give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really loved this book. It was close to getting a 5 out of 5 stars, but because of the writing style of Leon's chapters, it kind of just taking a little while to get accustomed to hit that style. I am just going to stick with 4 out of 5 stars because it was difficult to get used to that. Really enjoyed our main character Tiffy. I also really ended up liking Leon, and I was really shocked that the author was able to get all these subplot and the main plot, that is the romance, and just kind of neatly put them all together to make a conclusion. I think when this book first came out, I heard a lot of negative reviews about it, and so I think I was just kind of going off of that. So I went in expecting very little of this book, and I actually figured it would be my least favorite book in this video, but I feel like it's going to be one of my favorites. The author did a really great job with emotional abuse with Tiffy and her ex Justin. Really like how that was portrayed in this book. I think you should really read it if you like romance. The post-it note thing was really cute, and how they met, very funny. Grew to love this book, and I really want to read more of her other books as well. Going to Leon, how much of a swoon-worthy male lead was he? I do think he could have been more swoon-worthy if his chapters weren't written in the way that it was, but once we started getting more chapters of him and Tiffy together and reading how he is with her from her perspective, kind of helped us get to know him better. He is a very cute character, I will say that. He's very awkward, and so yeah, he's quite cute, and I would say he's pretty swoon-worthy, but I am going to be a little critical with the swoon-worthiness, and I'm just going to give him a 2 out of 5 stars. Again, he could have probably gotten a 3 or 4 or 5 stars if his chapters weren't written in the way that they were, but I really felt like the style that his chapters were written really took away from his character, and I think he could have been an even stronger character if it wasn't written in that way. I feel like we didn't really start to get to know him until Tiffy did. Is he a book crush? No. I'm going to move on to the next book. I think I'm going to go with The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren because I just want another fun romance kind of thing. I'll update you guys after I have gotten into that book a little bit.
Hello. It is probably going to be very noisy in this update because it is morning and the 2 kittens, Felix and Freckles, are always incredibly hyper in the morning. I am a little bit over 50% of the way through. I am very much underwhelmed by this book, unfortunately. It took me forever to slightly get into this book. I'm not crazy about it. The only reason why I am still listening to it, I have it at 2 times something speed, and so it's going by pretty quickly. Felix, can you just calm your tush? No, you're not gonna calm your tush. Okay. Not too crazy about our 2 leads. I almost just called our female lead Tiffy, but mine's still on the Flatshare. Olive. Her name's Olive. And then our male lead is Ethan. I just don't feel like there's much to their personalities other than that they both really dislike each other. I mean, yeah, Olive's unlucky. Ethan has a brother and he has an ex. That's about it. Maybe there is more and maybe I'm just being like not in the mood for this book. I guess I should explain what this book is about. This book follows Olive. Her sister Amy is getting married to Ethan's brother. Don't remember his name. Dale. Chippendale. I don't know if that's his name. That's what it first came to my mind. During the wedding, there was this whole food poisoning fiasco and everyone is unwell and can't really do anything. Amy and her husband Dale, we're gonna go with Dale, are now unwell and can't go on their honeymoon, so they both ask Ethan and Olive to go on their honeymoon for them. So Ethan and Olive do. And that's the premise of the story. These two people who very much dislike each other are going on their brother and sister's honeymoon. It's a bit of a letdown, I guess, compared to Flatshare. And also it's a bit of a letdown from Christina Lauren and their other books I've read. I also don't quite understand why they hate each other. It kind of seems like it's like a we hate each other, but we also love bickering with each other. I don't see a very good reason for them to hate each other. Based on the swoon-worthiness of Ethan, he's a major jerk. I think they're both jerks in their own way. Oh yeah, I don't see I'm not swoon-worthy. Is that I'm not swooning for Ethan whatsoever. Yeah, I should finish up it today and I will update you guys later.
She getting chunky. Chunky, chunky, chunky. Freckles. Hi. You're so pretty. This book still was a major letdown. I thought the premise was really fun, and in a way it did give some fun scenes. I didn't really like either of our main characters. This goes for both Olive and Ethan. I felt like both of them were very childish in their reasonings for disliking each other. Ethan was as well. Oh, a squirrel. Oh, this is so good. Ethan was also a jerk towards Olive for, like I said, childish reasons. I did not find him swoon-worthy whatsoever. I didn't like Olive much either, but Ethan's mistake that kind of made them have the struggle, like will they, won't they actually get together, was that, okay, I guess I should break it down. Dale, Olive's sister's husband that she just married, whatever, I know it's not his name, watch it is his name, is a massive cheater and is very manipulative towards Olive's sister, who I can't remember her name, oh, Amy. But when he's confronted with the truth that his brother was actually doing that, Ethan was like, no, he wouldn't do that, just like worships his brother pretty much. During an encounter with Dale, Olive gets hit on by him and she goes to tell Ethan. Ethan does not believe her. He basically just makes it out that she is a liar and that she's just making it all up in her head. He just pretty much says horrible things to her, and I'm sorry, they get back together afterwards. Not swooned by this man whatsoever. 1 star. I kind of want to give him a 0 star, but I feel like I'm gonna go with 0 star with It Ends With Us male character dude. I think I ended up giving this book a 2 star out of 5. The next book I'm going to be reading is actually It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I'm around 28% of the way through the book. And to be honest, I'm actually enjoying the book. I like Ryle. No, for one, I really dislike his name. When I heard that, I was just like, Ryle? Does anyone actually have that name? I mean, if you actually have that name, I'm sorry. I don't like the name. It sounds weird. I knew her name was Lily something Bloom because I knew it had something to do with flowers. Her name is Lily Blossom Bloom. That's a really good way to find out if your parents hate you or not. While currently it has not gone to physical abuse, I would say it's very manipulative. The picture, oh my goodness. The picture reveal, he has a picture of her, of this pretty much stranger. I mean, that is entirely creepy. Girl, I would run for the hills. That gave me chills when that was revealed. Yeah, that was some creepy stuff right there. Him just like, he's just, Does he die? Does he die at the end? Is he gonna die? I'll update you guys later. I finished It Ends With Us just now. I understand the criticism for this book. So just want to make it clear that I'm not shaming anyone who likes this book. You can like any piece of literature you want. If you like this book, that's totally fine. I personally just did not like how it panned out near the end, so it definitely made my rating go very low for this book. I again can understand why this book would be entertaining to some people because it is a very fast read. It's very easy to get through. A major page turner. They're very easy to consume. I'm sure this book does portray domestic abuse that some people experience pretty well. And saying that though, I definitely agree with the criticism that this book definitely seems to romanticize domestic abuse. Oh, I don't even know what to say. There's just... Obviously, Ryle is an abuser towards Lily. It follows I would say the typical domestic abuse kind of situation. He blacks out and he didn't mean to hit her. He loves her. He's so sorry. It won't happen again. And the cycle repeats. The thing that I really just dislike about this, and I think what many other people dislike about this, is the way that Ryle is portrayed. This book portrays Ryle in a very... He didn't mean it. He feels so much pain for what he did. He didn't mean to hurt her. He just kind of blacked out. He didn't mean to be violent. He really does love her. He really does care. He's a very compassionate person, despite abusing this person that he loves so much. It just paints it to be like domestic abusers or abusers really just don't mean it. They really are just these kind people who just accidentally do bad things. You know, the book pretty much starts by Ryle saying you have a good side and a bad side or something like that, and sometimes just people sometimes will just go to the bad sides every now and then. Oh, this is so infuriating. It makes it seem like that bad side should be forgiven. Letting her child be around this abuser. Really infuriating how everyone was saying, oh, but Ryle is a good guy deep down and he really is sorry about it. It hurts him just as much as it hurts you. Like literally, that was what was being said. I feel like it was a little bit disrespectful, to be honest. You know, maybe some people who have been in domestic violence situations relate to this book and it was therapeutic for them. That's totally fine if that was for you, and I'm glad if it was therapeutic for you. To each their own, and that's what I try to keep in the back of my head when I am listening to books that I feel are portraying things in a very negative way, because I know everyone sees things differently. I did enjoy the first half of this book to some extent because I honestly didn't think it was going to go the direction that it eventually went. It doesn't even come full circle to Lily. What Ryle was doing in the beginning was horrible. Like, he was being stalkerish. He saved a picture of you, a stranger at the time, and blew it up on his wall, and he followed you, he stalked you, and that never came back into her head after all of the abuse. I don't know, I just feel like this book really just painted him as being a nice guy. But yeah, this book was really infuriating me, and I give it a 1 out of 5-star rating. For swoon worthiness, Ryle gets no stars. Let's see how swoon worthy these technically 3 male leads are going to be. I would say I'm around 70% of the way through The Kiss of Deception, but I am DNFing this book. The only reason I made it this far is because I'm at work and I have nothing else to listen to. You definitely do not understand the hype surrounding this book whatsoever. I hate that I even considered it as one of the books to read for this video. I hate that it was one of the books that I read for this video. I felt like at first it was going to be really intriguing because it was starting off with our main character Leah, who's a princess, fleeing her home because of an arranged marriage situation. But I just got so bored so fast, and I don't personally like any of the characters besides Pauline, I think is her name. I wouldn't say I'm hugely obsessed with her. I just feel like there's very few options. Leah's not that horrible. I just find her to be boring, and I kind of find her to be not like other girls kind of thing. I find her to be a bit stereotypical. I find a lot of the characters to be pretty stereotypical. I cannot tell the 2 main characters apart whatsoever. I know one's an assassin and one's a prince. I have tried to figure out how to tell them apart. They both sound the same when we're hearing from their perspectives and when also they're interacting with Leah. No, one I think is named Rafe. I can't remember the other guy's name. I think it starts with a K. Still have no idea if Rafe is the prince or the assassin. I don't know if it's just because I'm not fully paying attention, possibly because I'm just not interested in this book. I cannot tell these two apart whatsoever. Their voices seem to be exactly alike. It really is just confusing because they both kind of are given the same premise. They're following this princess who's escaped. Both have these different goals. The assassin wants to kill her, and I don't exactly understand what the prince is trying to do exactly, but they both seem to not like her right away. And then they both seem to kind of fall for her at the same time. I know one of them has a big horsey, and the other one... That's what I'm saying. I can't tell them apart. I don't know who has the big horsey. The thing about this book, I'm sorry, it's just really boring, and I don't want to continue reading. I'm DNFing this book. I'm sorry. Swoon-worthiness of the two male characters. 0. I can't tell them apart, for one. So, 0 for both the assassin and the prince. Okie dokie, it is bright. Hello! There has been many issues with this reading vlog and my editing process, so much so that I need to refilm the last portion. I did read and finish Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, I believe. Did not love this book as much as everyone else seems to. I didn't hate it, but my rating with this book is somewhere between a 2 and a 3, but it's still not a 2.5. The closest to a rating that I'm going with is a 2.5. But this book is a what if kind of situation. So what if the son of the president falls in love with the Prince of Wales? The way it was marketed to me when this book first came out was enemies to lovers. This book is definitely not enemies to lovers whatsoever. They hate each other because of a misunderstanding with Alex, the president's son, having a bad experience with Henry, the Prince of Wales at one point, and just using this one bad experience with him and just hating this man forever and everything he does forever. This sunlight is like giving me a sun mustache. Yeah, they did not hate each other, especially seeing as they started their relationship 10% of the way through this book. I also, for some reason, thought this book was going to be somehow set in the future. I just thought the setting was going to be somehow different. I don't know. I just thought this book was going to be like 100 years into the future or something like that, but still modernized, if that makes sense. I thought this book was going to be something else. I don't know why I thought it was going to be set years into the future, to be honest. Also felt like the plot of this book and certain elements of this book were lacking, and I felt like needed to be fleshed out just a little bit more. Oh, I no longer have a sun mustache. This book was just not what I was expecting, and I think that definitely affected my enjoyment of it. I also felt like at times the book was going by pretty quickly, but then other times I thought it was going by pretty slow. The relationship between Henry and Alex was fine. I didn't love it or anything, but I thought they had some cute interactions. Their emails were pretty cute. I wasn't crazy about either of them, specifically Alex, especially since he was our POV for this entire book, which I was not anticipating. I thought both of them were going to get POVs, and I was very much disappointed because the one I prefer is Henry, and we got no perspective from him. While I wasn't crazy about Henry, I felt like he was the more interesting one out of the two. I kind of felt like Alex was a little bit judgmental and a little mean in the beginning of the book. The book is also marketed as YA. It is not YA. It is not YA at all. It is definitely new adult. Regarding the swoon-worthiness of Henry and Alex, for Alex, I would say he gets a 2. And then for Henry, I would say he gets 3 out of 5 stars. I think I really just need to not think so much, bye, New Year. It's very hard not to think of all the hype that surrounds books, but I just need to try to just throw that out of the window when I start books that are very popular, because then I get more disappointed by them. I have the mustache back. It was a little unfortunate that I really only liked one of the books out of these 5, but nonetheless, I still got to read more of authors that I've never read from. Do you guys have any recommendations? Ooh, my hair. Have any recommendations for books that you think have swoon-worthy leads? Definitely link it. Definitely leave it down below in the comments. I always am up for putting new books on my want to read list, which is like thousands of books long now. But I'm willing to put more on my list. That is it for this video. I hope you guys have a lovely Friday, and I will see you next Friday. Bye-bye.